what a pleasure it is to work daily with Sheriff Robert Holland in the interest of our community and in the interest of the party. Robbie is accessible, he's tough on the bad guys, but you know, he tells me he's kind of got stage fright. I don't think a man who wore a purple tutu to a basketball game or who posts on Facebook on Christmas Eve a picture of himself in a patriotic onesie. Yeah. I'm not so sure he has stage fright. I think he's a very confident man, and it's my pleasure to call him my friend. Please welcome my co-MC for the convention, Robbie Holland.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's all right.
Okay. Before,
Yeah.
what?
He's getting ready to speak right now.
Okay.
All right. Before I speak, I just want to say one thing. I want to thank all the candidates who are running for any office. I appreciate your willingness to step out and put your family and yourselves out there, and I appreciate your service to our county and to our community. I'm going to do something that most people don't do. I'm also going to welcome my opponent, Mr. Carpenter, and just tell him thank you for being here. And when this election's over, whichever way it goes, I hope that you stay a Republican, get involved with the Republican Party. The last thing that I would like to say also is that whoever has the blessing of becoming the sheriff on May 6th, I just want you and I want my community to know that I've spent 12 years building this agency, and I'm extremely, extremely proud of each and every individual that works for the Macon County Sheriff's Office, and each and every individual who wears a uniform and serves and protects this community. And I appreciate everything that everybody ever has allowed us to do, and I'm just honored to stand by this group of great men and women in our community who proudly serve you. Thank you. I now get the distinct honor of welcoming Congressman Meadows. After working a small business owner for 27 years, Representative Mark Meadows brings a business-style approach to Washington, D.C. You've read this before, haven't you? From owning and selling, well, listen, instead of me talking a whole lot, everybody knows Congressman Meadows. We appreciate you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being in Washington. And you are like me. You have the easiest job in the world. We get told daily how to do it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was exactly how I wrote it down, and I appreciate you. Thank you for your leadership. You know, this job, many of us in this room have done it, and quite frankly, it is at times a thankless job. There's any day that a fight can break out. I know that we're all Republicans and we all think exactly alike, and yet it is with your leadership, obviously, that we've got a packed room here today, and we need to be united going forward. We really do. There's some primaries that are coming up, and here's what I would encourage you to do, is passionately get out there, campaign and work hard for the person that you're supporting. And I want you to do that with all the vigor and the excitement, quite frankly, that we've already felt in this room here today. But after those May primaries, we want you, can't do it alone. We've got a great man here in Mark that needs your help. I mean, we need to make sure that we get the vote out so that indeed he is the chief. And he needs a great turnout from the West. Why does he need a great turnout from the West? Well, we're a little bit more conservative than the East. And we truly need that turnout. We've got a U.S. Senate race that is coming up. And I'm telling you, I need some help. I think it is time that we send Kay Hagan back home and find somebody else to occupy the chair. And the only way that we do that is if each one of you stay united and are willing to make the sacrifices through November. And so I'm here today to encourage you. My apologies, I'm going to have to leave from here. We started early in Henderson County this morning. I will finish up late tonight in Mitchell County. So I go from here to address a National Guard unit or some retired National Guard folks in Burke County, and it's a little over 2.5 hours away. So we're going to have to speed over that way. But I wanted to share a story, if I might, and encourage you. It's one that really has to do with trust and faith. Because right now, many of you don't trust the government. Isn't that right? Yeah. You know, Lois Lerner is out there, you know, she just breeds trust among so many of us. And I'm here to tell you that in the coming days, literally in the coming days, that you will see new information that comes out, and quite frankly, the majority of us will bring her and hold her in contempt of Congress for not sharing the truth. But really, this is about restoring trust. Because our government is one that we need to trust. You know, those phones are a real pain, aren't they, George? but in doing this, is it the president calling? No, it wasn't. I didn't think. Not on your line, right? Okay. You know, one of the things that we have is with a government that we can't trust is it starts to undermine the very fabric of who we are as a nation. And our founding fathers truly set up a constitution that was to protect those. And yet what we have over and over again is as the government gets so big and it gets unaccountable to the people, we lose trust in it. I'm here to tell you not only on our Oversight and Government Reform Committee, but on many other committees, Ways and Means, we're embarking on the ability to restore that trust in government. But while we do that, I need each one of you to keep the faith. Because quite frankly, if you don't have the faith in who we are as a nation, it has very long, profound, long-reaching consequences. And if you look throughout our history, we can see that we've been a government of the people and by the people and for the people. And we still are. Because as you look, there was in 1812 an attack on this very country by the British. Now, we had already defeated the British, but there was another attack on our nation. They burned the Capitol, they burned the White House, and really they had taken over. And we expected Washington, D.C. to go down. And there was a little place, Fort McHenry there in the harbor, where they came and truly it was a bombardment that was going to happen for more than 24 hours of shell after shell after shell to bombard Fort McHenry and the only entrance into that harbor. Well, 1 year prior to that, in 2013, there had been this huge flag that, not 2013, 1813, my apology. There was this huge flag, 40 feet by 32 feet, that was made so that it could be flown over that fort when the enemy came in. And indeed, that flag was unfurled over Fort McHenry. And many of you know the rest of the story, that the Star-Spangled Banner talked about the fact that that flag still waved after 25 hours of bombardment. You know it well. But perhaps what you don't know is the story of why the bombardment was taking place where it did. Because there was 22 patriots that took their boat went out into the harbor and sunk their boats right in the harbor. Now, for many of them, this was their livelihood. They sunk their boats so that the British ships could not make it close enough for the impact of those bombs to really take their toll. And yet here were 22 patriots willing to sink their boats for a lost cause. Because at that point, that's what it appeared to be, was a lost cause. Some of you today may have been told by your neighbors and friends that you're fighting for a country and it's a lost cause. But I'm here to tell you that when you hear the kind of songs that are sung, the kind of patriots and Rich Rob that are here, the men and women that fight for freedom each and every day, it is not a lost cause. It gives me the strength to get up and fight once again. And it's a real honor to stand side by side, making sure that we fight because it isn't a lost cause. I'm telling you, it is time that we restore the trust in our government, that the fact that it is of the people and by the people. But until we do, I ask that you keep the faith, that you continue to be willing to be a patriot like those 22 patriots long ago who sunk their boats for a lost cause. Because quite frankly, every nation in the world wishes that they had what we have. And let us never apologize for America's greatness. Let us never forget where we came from. And if we stand together, not only in November will we have victory, but ultimately we will return this government to the people where it belongs. God bless you. God bless America. Thanks for letting me be here.